I have the perfect story for y'all today. It's called Frankenfrog.
It was written by Kim Kennedy and illustrated by Doug Kennedy.
Dr. Franken, the mad scientist, was famous for his many strange inventions. He developed the world's first ball lab, the quasi-monster detector, and the incredible hypersizing tonic, which worked wonders on lollipops. It just so happened that while Dr. Franken and his helpers, the Mungers, were chopping on some giant candy, a fly took a nosedive into the hypersizing tonic and emerged as a hideous hyperfly, a droolish, ghoulish creature that towered over the doctor and his Mungers. With much trouble, they trapped the buzzing beast in the cellar where it was forgotten, but not for long. Soon Dr. Franken was preparing another experiment, but just when it was ready to conduct, tiny pesky flies began appearing, sticking to wires and buzzing into tubes.
Where in the scientific world are these flies coming from?
Dr. Franken demanded just when a bone-chilling buzz came from the cellar.
Of course, the hyperfly. It's multiplying.
How could he rid the lab of all those flies? An idea struck him.
Only a frog could get rid of so many flies, but not any old frog. An electrical specimen only a mastermind such as I can create. Go to Croaking Acres.
He instructed the Mungers.
And bring me back a frightfully large frog. Hurry!
They fetched the biggest one they could find.
Dr. Franken got to work on the amphibian, hooking it to leap electrodes, croak conductors, and tongue transformers. Finally, Dr. Franken cried,
Throw the switch!
Sparks flew, wires crackled. The lab hummed with energy. The frog's legs gave a twitch and a hop. Then from its wide green mouth came a long slow.
Ribbit.
It's alive!
Cried Dr. Franken.
Behold, Frankenfrog.
Ribbit.
He croaked, hopping from the table with a rotary spout.
Me want swamp.
Never mind the swamp.
Said the doctor.
Devour those flies.
Frankenfrog fired his tongue at the insects, blitzing them with an air-splitting zap.
Excellent work.
Praised the doctor, patting his creation on its slimy, limbless head.
Now for the hyperfly.
Said Dr. Franken, unlocking the cellar door.
Get rid of that freaky fly factory.
Me go to swamp.
Bellowed Frankenfrog.
Mungas!
Dr. Franken shouted.
Stop him! Stop him!
But the Mungers were no match for the stinging ring zap of Frankenfrog's tongue. He zapped the doctor's tornado tunnel and missing molecular pool. He zapped the atomic fusion funnel and tubes of electroplasm drool.
Me go to swamp.
He croaked, and in a blur of a tongue and webbed feet, Frankenfrog was gone, vanished into the froggy night. Down in the swamp, an amphibious affair was being held. Every lily pad piled to the tip-top with frolicking bog hoppers. From the shadows, Frankenfrog watched his fellow kind, how he longed to leap with them. But now, he was a freakish frog, a glowing goofball, a megavolt mess. As the jitterbugs jittered and the wood ducks twittered, his urge to join them grew stronger and stronger with a colossal
Croak!
Frankenfrog jumped into their midst, sending shockwaves through the swamp.
An electrified frog! Everyone out of the water!
The swamp was swept into panic. There had never been so much flapping, flopping, swimming, and hopping.
Come back!
Called Frankenfrog, but it was no use. All alone, Frankenfrog slumped on a stump, his glow growing dimmer. What would he do now? He wondered. Would the doctor take him back after making such a mess?
Probably not.
Sighed Frankenfrog.
I'll just fade into the dark.
Suddenly, he heard a bone-chilling. Frankenfrog turned to see the hyperfly, buzzing over the swamp, with Dr. Franken in his grasp, taking aim. Frankenfrog fired away, but the hyperfly, with its supersonic wings, dodged the zaps and ducked the zings.
Hurry!
Begged Dr. Franken. But try as he might, Frankenfrog couldn't muster one more zap. He was all tapped out.
I need an electric charge,
he thought. But where would he get one? Licking her lips, the hungry hyperfly leered. Oh, what would she feast on first? A Dr. Franken fillet? Or some crunchy Munger munchies? She opened her slobbering snout for a mouthful of zap, sap, sap. With an electrifying leap, Frankenfrog met the monstrous fly with a supercharged jolt right between her eyes. Her antennae corkscrewed, her wings crisscrossed, and with a stupendous pow, she disintegrated into a crackling cloud of fly dust.
You saved us!
Cheered the doctor. Then from the shadows crept the swamp critters.
Wow!
They cheered.
What an electrical spectacle!
For the sake of science,
Said the puzzled doctor.
where did you get the energy to blow up that nasty mutant?
Frankenfrog croaked, and out of his mouth flew a giant cloud of fireflies.
Edible electricity!
Cried Dr. Franken. So the doctors, mongers, and Frankenfrog returned to the castle, to the world of bubbles, potions, and magnificent notions.
And they lived happily ever after. That is until Dr. Franken's next experiment.